Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Docked at Pier 45 right in San Francisco is a floating piece of history. The SS Jeremiah O'Brien is one of only two remaining functional World War II Liberty ships in the world. Executive Director of the National Liberty Ship Memorial, Matt Lasher, is letting us know why this project is so important. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
All right, so what role did the ship play in World War II?
Well, it really was the avenue in which the U.S. got involved with World War II. Liberty ship was at the time, England was struggling to supply themselves. The German U-boats had depleted their merchant fleet, so the U.S. knew if they were going to get involved, they were going to have to come up with a ship that could be built quickly, be operated very easily, and support the supply chain that would allow us to be involved in the war. So they designed these Liberty ships that were very simple. They were able to be manufactured very rapidly, and they were able to train people really quickly on how to operate them. So we made over 2,700 of them to support the war effort, and 1,400 of them actually manufactured here in the Bay Area.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's kind of a testament to the Bay Area industry at the time as well.
So the ship docked in San Francisco, that was built in 1943?
Yes, it was.
How did it come to dock in the city?
It ended up at the end of the war in the Suisun Bay Reserve Fleet here in the Bay Area. And the director of MARAD is actually the founder of our nonprofit that runs the organization. And he retired from that job and took over as the director of our organization, and was able to preserve the ship and bring it into the state it is right now, which is a museum at Pier 45.
You know, we're looking at these pictures of the ship. It's a beautiful ship.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it's a testament to the volunteers and folks in the Bay Area who have been able to keep it in such great condition over the last 74 years.
Yeah, great condition. It's still functioning.
Yes.
And visitors can actually go out on the bay.
They can.
With it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
So I'll talk about our next cruise. We actually are going to be cruising as our most popular cruise of the season, which is our Fleet Week cruise. It's on October 7th and 8th, Saturday and Sunday. And we go out there, we cruise the bay, go under the Golden Gate Bridge, come back, and we sit under center stage for the Blue Angels Air Show. And folks that really want a unique experience during the show can really get close to the air show, and they fly right overhead, and it's a really amazing experience.
That's amazing. Best seat in the house, and you're on a military ship to boot.
And you're on a Liberty ship that there's only two remaining. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so if you're not a visitor on Fleet Week and you go to tour the ship, how much of the ship can you see?
Most of it. I mean, there are some areas that obviously, for safety reasons, we keep off limits, but the house where people stay, the quarters, the guns, the engine room, the bridge, all the main areas that the crew would have been on is accessible to the general public. So folks are invited to come down and explore the ship at any time. We're open every day.
All right, that sounds cool. And is it true that the ship, or part of the ship, was featured in a blockbuster movie?
It was. The engine room was the engine room scene filmed in Titanic was actually filmed down in our engine room. So
where the big, I don't know what they're called, but the big things are rowing or
absolutely
moving, the hydraulic pumps maybe?
That's actually the engine. So that's our engine, and that moves the propeller, and that's the scene was filmed actually down in our engine room. So it's a claim to fame. Yeah,
that is a claim. That's a pretty big one too. Titanic.
Yes,
a very popular movie. And you talked about the Bay cruises and the volunteers. How important are the volunteer crew members?
It's huge because if you can imagine, keeping this ship, it was built for an era in 1943. The expertise, the drive for folks to come down there and help and preserve the ship. It takes experienced mariners, it takes the general public, it takes folks from all backgrounds to come down and help keep this, really the nonprofit and the ship running effectively so we can continue to have this ship for future generations of Americans. And
you have a campaign right now to try and raise funds to repair it.
Yes. Every 5 years we go to something called dry dock, where we take it out of the water, we inspect it, we clean it, we do any repairs we have to do, and it's a very resource-consuming event. So we ask folks to come down and participate in the cruises, visit the ship, and we use those funds we get from those visitors to help preserve the ship. So if you support one of our cruises, it's going to help preserve the vessel too. Well,
it's an important part of our country's history, and now a part of the Bay Area's history. So
absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on the show, telling us all about it. And to find out how you can check out this World War II ship, just log on to ssjeremiahobrien.org. And earlier this week, I spoke with an Air Force veteran who has an important message. We'll be right back.